All right, settle in, folks. Picture this. It's the brutal winter of 1874. You're trying to get to Colorado, hoping to strike it rich in the gold fields. You're part of a larger group. But you and 5 other eager fellas decide to take a shortcut through the treacherous San Juan Mountains with a guide named Alferd Packer. What could possibly go wrong? Well, if you're one of the 5 guys with Alferd, turns out quite a bit. Because Alferd Packer's idea of mountain guiding involved, shall we say, a rather unconventional approach to dinner. This is the infamous tale of Alferd Packer, the man whose name is practically synonymous with bad hiking buddy. Our story starts in Utah, where Packer hooked up with a group heading for the promised land of Colorado gold. But winter was closing in, and impatience, as it often does in these stories, led to a fatal decision. Packer and 5 other men, Shannon Wilson Bell, James Humphrey, Frank Miller, George Noon, and Israel Swan, broke off from the main party, convinced Packer could lead them on a faster route. They headed into the snow-choked mountains, and for months, nothing was heard from them. Until Alferd Packer reappeared alone in a Ute Indian camp near Saguache, Colorado in the spring of 1874. He looked remarkably better fed than you'd expect someone to be after months lost and starving in the wilderness. And his initial story? Well, that's where things get chewy. Packer claimed they were snowed in, ran out of supplies, and the others died of starvation and exposure. He, Alferd Packer, the sole survivor, managed to subsist on roots and rosebuds until spring thaw allowed him to escape. Packer claimed they were snowed in, ran out of supplies, and the others died of starvation and exposure. He, Alferd Packer, the sole survivor, managed to subsist on roots and rosebuds until spring thaw allowed him to escape. Roots and rosebuds in a Colorado blizzard. Sounds less like survival and more like a terrible diet fad. Naturally, people were suspicious. Packer had money on him, money that belonged to the other men, and his story shifted more often than mountain weather. He finally confessed under pressure that, well, things got messy. In one version, one of the men, Shannon Bell, supposedly went mad from hunger and killed the others with an axe, and Packer killed Bell in self-defense. Ah, the classic blame the dead guy who conveniently can't defend himself defense. Always a crowd pleaser. But when a search party finally located the campsite months later, the scene told a different story. 5 bodies brutally butchered, not scattered like a frenzied attack, but seemingly processed. Evidence strongly pointed to something far more deliberate than Packer's ever-evolving tales. It became horrifyingly clear. The party hadn't just died, they had become Alferd's pantry. Packer fled, living under an assumed name for nearly a decade before finally being recognized and captured in Wyoming. His trial became a sensation. The infamous and likely apocryphal quote attributed to the judge sentencing him was, "Stand up, Alferd Packer, you son of a bitch, and receive your sentence." There were only 7 Democrats in Hinsdale County, and you ate 5 of them. Okay, well, maybe the judge didn't actually say the Democrat part, but it gives you a sense of the local outrage. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to hang, though the conviction was later overturned on a technicality regarding the law at the time. He was retried and convicted of manslaughter instead, serving 18 years in prison before being paroled. He lived out his days in Colorado, a pariah the Colorado cannibal. The Alferd Packer story is a grim mix of desperation, poor leadership, and the absolute breakdown of civilization in the face of extreme hardship. Was Packer a cold-blooded killer who planned to eat his companions, or a desperate man who made unthinkable choices to survive after others died? His stories were unreliable, the evidence gruesome. It really makes you wonder about the limits of human survival, doesn't it? What do you think truly happened out there in those mountains? Was Alferd Packer a monster or a man pushed beyond all limits? Let me know your theories and thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you make of this disturbing case. Alferd Packer's legacy is cemented in the dark history of the American West, a cautionary tale of bad navigation, worse decisions, and the ultimate taboo broken in the name of survival. His story, alongside others like the Donner Party, reminds us just how thin the veil of civilization can be when faced with the raw, unforgiving power of nature and extreme hunger. If you found this morbid little journey into the past compelling, or if you just appreciate a story with a truly messed up ending, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to explore more chilling murder mysteries, desperate tales of survival, and the darkest corners of human history, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the abyss. Thanks for watching, and try not to pick your hiking buddies based on their apparent body mass index. See you next time.